Testing, 1, 2, 3. Bernie H is in the house. Hunter Busher. Hey, Donald Mondo. Bernie H got your package. Thank you very much. Oh, that was the bonus package, right? I felt really bad when you got that the other way, but I got some of those medium flat rate boxes, and that's what I'll be using for the next package. Okay, Bernie? I'll go back to the box. I was trying to save a little bit on the postage size, but I guess that way didn't work. Unless I can figure out a way to get a box that's the size of the bubble mailer that can go inside the bubble mailer, then that's fine. But most likely I'll use the medium flat rate box. Costs me about $17 to send the bigger box, but that's fine. Not a problem. So other than that, the cards that happens to all of us. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know that, but I just felt really bad. You're my top supporter right now, and I wanted to make sure I took care of you. So that's why I sent you some bonus stuff. All right. So other than that, oh, I gotta do my other Patreons. I gotta get, oh, that's right, I gotta get Faith Family and Sports. I got enough for him right there. Callie and Jordan Squad. All right, why is my other computer not? I'm not being slow, my computers are being slow. That's why I was waiting for them to load up. But for now, we will go at 2:05. I'll end the early birds. So at 2:05, I will end the early birds. Okay, I think I got the other one getting up here and ready to go almost. Will be keeping an eye on all the entries just to make it fair and allow it to take a little bit longer to fill the 1,000 spots. The new guidelines, if you read my About Me tab, says as soon as we hit 1,000 entries and max out, that'll end. So we did not make it in April. So now we're in May, and we are at 914 entries. In case you're wondering, there are 914 entries. We do have 2:05, so that ends the early birds. Hey Donald, how is Cindy doing? I'll give you an update in just a second, but Cindy is doing better for now. We went to the cardiology yesterday, our cardiologist, and in the interim for now, while we're still waiting on getting her new valve implant, they put her on a heart monitor. It's just a little thing, the left side. I'm looking at the wrong side on the screen, and it's just a small little device that they put there now. Don't have to have that big contraption and stuff, and you keep it on for a week. So after a week, we just take it off, we put it in a box they gave us, and we mail it off through the post office, and then they'll let us know how things are going with her heart during her normal activities throughout a week. They told her to just keep doing what you normally do, but don't overdo it. And so for my wife, not overdoing it is pretty hard sometimes. But that is the current update. And as far as the new heart valve implants, what we are waiting for there is the manufacturer to make them, then probably the contract negotiations on this is how much we think you should sell it for, well this is what we can sell it for, this is what the insurance will pay, bumpity 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 bump, back and forth they go until they finally decide, okay, we've got everything figured out. Now, even though there's people waiting for these valves, we can finally start releasing them and sending them to the hospitals where they want to do the procedures. Does that make sense to somebody somewhere? So it got approved right after the first part of the new year, but now they're still waiting on the manufacturer to make the valves, and then the contracts to be made, and how much Medicare will pay, how much TRICARE for Life will pay, so everybody can get their cut of what they have to pay, and try and do the, you know how it goes. I won't go into all the details there, but let me go in real quick here. Since I can see it all on the one screen here, we're doing good to go. Let's see if it'll let me. I don't think it will on that one. But let me go ahead and get everybody logged in here. We got Bernie H. was first in the live stream for one entry. Hunter Busher was next. Hunter, got you in here for one. That's done. That's done. Okay. We got Bernie. We got Callie and Jordan Squad in here for one. Bernie H, Callie and Jordan, Kevin's Models and More. So Kevin's Models and More is in the house. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people logged in. All right. Great to hear she's doing well. Thank you very much. Yep. She's down resting. She's watching some news or whatever. Not that that helps. But, and she's eating her comfort food. I bought her a bag of low-salt sunflower seeds that she loves to munch on. We had run out before. We couldn't find any in the commissary, and so she was starting to eat and just munch on raw rice. I don't know about that, but I think it'd be better for her to be on the low-salt sunflower seeds so she can crunch those up and break them up. And that'll be a lot easier, I think. So other than that, we're going to get ready to go into our trivia. Today is Wednesday, and we do have HOF Biography, episode 231, Tony Oliva. And we will have a trivia for yesterday and today. So let's get into our trivia. Alright, so today's trivia will be 7 points. It'll be 7 entries. And then today's will be worth 5 points. So 12 entries are able to be earned in this one here. Okay? I'm going to do a plus here in case we have to add the bigger numbers in here. I'm going to put a plus by everyone here. That's just craziness from me. So our first one will be 7. Okay? But our baseball birthdays for yesterday, when I was busy with my wife and our grandson and all that other good stuff. Our grandson by proxy. I'll explain that if you want to know. We're now unofficial grandparents. Our niece had a baby last December, and so we're having fun as acting grandparents. My niece's mom is here, so she's Nona. And I'm Papa, and Cindy is Nini. In case anybody wanted to know that. I know you probably didn't. But the baseball birthdays, again, for yesterday, Tuesday, May 24th, were Dick Williams, Claude Raymond, Tom Zachary, and Brooke Fordyce. Okay? And our trivia is as follows. Today is team history. Too bad Locken's not here. It's his team that we're doing. So, team history. Rank the following pitchers for strikeouts in a season for the Royals. So I think it's whoever's going to have the most strikeouts going down. Okay? So it'll be the most strikeouts, okay? So if you have a piece of paper handy and you want to write down A, B, C, and D. So you're going to rank these 4 players starting with the most strikeouts in a season to the least strikeouts in a season. So the most, or the top 4, the ones that are ranked the top 4 in strikeouts, and their order. So the first person gets them right and gets all 4 correct in the correct order will get 7 entries. Okay? And then if nobody gets that, if you get 3 right, you'll get 3 entries. If you get 2 right, you'll get 2 entries, and so on and so forth, down to 1. If you only get 1, that would be kind of hard because you can rank all 4, even if you have to guess at some. Alright? So, rank the following pitchers for strikeouts in a season for the Kansas City Royals. First up is A, Bob Johnson. The second one is B, Zach Greinke. The third one is C, Dennis Leonard. And the fourth one is D, Kevin Appier. So go ahead and start your guessing now, and I'll jot down the rankings here. Then I will read through the question one more. Can't hear. What's he saying? Oh, great to hear. Great to hear. Sorry about that. Okay, so go ahead and start your guessing. Let me read it through one more time. It's team history for our first trivia for the day. Rank the following pitchers for strikeouts in a season for the Royals. Is it A, Bob, or the choices are A, Bob Johnson, B, Zach Greinke, C, Dennis Leonard, and D, Kevin Appier. So just try and rank them 1, first, second, third, and fourth. I know this is kind of a tough one, but we'll let it go. We'll let it run still for this trivia. 2 more minutes. At 2:16, we'll move on so we can get this show on the road. And today, again, we're doing Tony Oliva for our Hall of Fame. Let's see. Bernie says Greinke, Leonard, Johnson, Appier. So rank the following pitchers for strikeouts in a season for the Royals. Bernie is the only one guessing so far. But unfortunately, you have all four listed there, but not in the correct order. Just so you know. So if you want to try again and switch it around before we hit the 2:16 mark, if not, we'll go with what this is a little bit harder here. Okay. Actually, we'll go 2 more minutes just to give people extra time in here as I get a sip of water here. By the way, while we're waiting on the trivia and stuff, I will be having tomorrow evening from 6 to 9. I will be doing a Cal Ripken Jr. Dollar auction, and then on Friday I'll be doing a Ken Griffey Jr. $1 start auctions on my WhattNot if you want, you can go and look in WhattNot. Go to the WahtNot app on the internet. You can go www.whatnot.com and then go in there. Just open an account. It's free to open an account. I think all they need is your email address. But then if you do want to buy, you just have to have either a credit card or I don't know if they take PayPal for sure. I can't remember exactly. But so that's how that works if you want to buy. But if you don't want to buy, you just want to see the Ken Griffey Jr. cards I'm sharing. I have a whole sleeve. Tomorrow's Cal Ripken Jr. So this is the group of Cal Ripken Jr. cards I'll be going through on dollar auctions. Then on Friday will be Ken Griffey, and we'll be starting with the 100s. All these are like between cards 100 and 199. Ends with 199 here. So that'll be the fun on Friday. So eventually I'm gonna try and do the ICHIRO once again. Possibly, I'm thinking. Yeah, I might do ICHIRO again next week, but don't know for sure. Okay, so we got 218. Let me just end the first trivia and get things on the roll here. Okay, oh, there we go. Let's see, what did he get now? Apier, Greinke, Johnson, and Leonard. I think you got one. Yeah, you only got one corrected. One corrected. Go ahead and end the first round, and Bernie H got Greinke is the only one. He was second. So I'll go over the answers in just a second. So Bernie, you get another entry into the trivia. Okay. It says team. Oh, let me turn this other screen on for now. Rank the following pitchers for strikeouts in a season for the Royals. First was Dennis Leonard, according to the stats we have here that this calendar company put together. And then second would be Zach Greinke, which is the one you got correct. Third is Kevin Apier, and fourth is Bob Johnson. And I'll read through that information here in just a second. Let me get the next one ready here. Okay, the next one will be a lot easier because you just have to guess one choice. But the answers here was, the first one was C, Dennis Leonard, with 244 strikeouts in 1977. And then second was B, Zach Greinke, which is the one you got correct, 242 strikeouts in 2009. So, okay. And then third was D, Kevin Apier, with 207 in 1996. And then we had 4 was A, which was Bob Johnson, at 206 in 1970. These 4 are the only Royal hurlers to have reached 200 strikeouts in a season also. So there you go. That's their ranking. Congratulations there, Bernie, on getting that one. At least one of them correct. That was a little bit tougher. I don't even know if Robin could have done that well. All right, so let's go on to our second trivia. Again, this one's a lot easier. It says baseball oddities, and the baseball birthdays for today, Wednesday, May the 8th, is Ed Rush, Dan Brothers, Mike Kuehler, and Adrian Gonzalez. Okay, and it's the grouping is baseball oddities. So it says, which of the following pitchers who threw no-hitters had a lifetime record above 500? Is it A, Bo Belinsky? Is it B, Mike Warren? Is it C, Bud Smith? Is it D, Bobo Holloman? Is it E, Ed Head? Or is it F, none of the above? Okay. Set this off to the side here. We'll put the calendar away till tomorrow when we use it again for our Thursday trivia. Okay, I'll read through one time while you're still working on your info here. Baseball oddities. Which of the following pitchers threw no-hitters and had a lifetime record above 500? Is it A, Bo Belinsky? Is it B, Mike Warren? Is it C, Bud Smith? Is it D, Bobo Holloman? Is it E, Ed Head? Or is it F, none of the above? Okay. Let's see. What was that? 19. Or I'd say 22 when he put it in. Wait until 24. To 24. I'll see who's got the correct answer, if anybody. Actually, no. Oh, no. Yeah. All right. And the trivia. And the trivia. Big Ray, you missed it too. Let me get you in here as being present now, at least. So you'll get your one entry. I'll be nice to you. Hey, Big Ray. There we go. Baseball oddities. Which of the following pitchers who threw no-hitters had a lifetime record above 500? A, Bo Belinsky. B, Mike Warren. C, Bud Smith. D, Bobo Holloman. E, Ed Head. Or F, none of the above. It was E, Ed Head. E, a 6'1" righty who hailed from Selma, Louisiana, Ed Head pitched for the Dodgers between 1940 and 1946. On April 23rd, 1946, at Ebbets Field against the Boston Braves, Head tossed a no-hitter, allowing just 3 walks with 1 strikeout. 4 months later, he pitched his last game at the age of 28. He finished his career with 27 wins and 23 losses. So nobody got that one correct. Unfortunately, it was Ed Head. And Big Ray at the end says, I meant E. Good try, but no cigar. Sorry. But that's okay. We'll bring this back at the end of the stream for the 1-minute warning. So I do have a few cards just to give you an idea of what's going on in the channel here. I do have some new displays right here real quick. This is a Brooks Robinson ceramic card that I got recently from somebody on WhattNot. Thought these were pretty cool. You can probably hear it. It's because I don't want to smack it too hard. I might break the ceramic. So these are ceramic cards. Chuck Nasty Sports. Chuck Nasty Sports. I think you're from WhattNot, if I remember right. Thanks there, Chuck Nasty Sports, for popping into the stream here. But yeah. Or no, is that Chuck Dupree? Is that Chuck Dupree's new channel name? I'm trying to remember. Okay, there we go. Bernie H is saying yes. How are we doing, Chuck? That's your new one, right, Chuck? I was thinking it was WhattNot. Well, actually, Chuck has been on my WhattNot, I think. That's Chuck. That's what I thought. So this one is card number, I think it's H3998. I can't remember how many of these they made. Doesn't really say, but that's a neat. I couldn't resist getting this one because I like Brooks Robinson now, since I learned more about him from the Hall of Fame. And then when me and my pastor went to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown last year, while we were in Cooperstown is when Brooks Robinson passed away. And it was nice because on our second day when we went back to the museum again, they had some special stuff there near where his Hall of Fame plaque is. And then I bought that one from the guy, and then later in a givey or something like that, he gave me this ceramic one for the Dodgers, Dukes Snyder, his ceramic card. And this one is number, I think it's a B, 2811, unless it might be a 13281. I don't know for sure. But I just thought these are real neat cards. So he sent me that one as a givey. And it came with the little stand here, which is nice. So there we go. How's the wifey? Oh, doing well, Chuck. Doing well. She's got a heart monitor on now, so they're going to check her heart for a week, see what's going on, see what they can see different than before. And then next Tuesday, before her... Next Tuesday? The Tuesday after, in 2 weeks, she'll be having a, because that way she'll have the heart monitor off. They want to do another echo on her heart to see what's different between the current echo that they'll do on the 21st and the last one she had at the end of last year. They're just trying to compare things to see how her heart's done and what's gone on with it for sure. But I appreciate that. Appreciate you keep praying for her. We'd appreciate that very much. We're going to get into Tony Oliva next. Oliva. I've got 2 cards for Tony coming up here after we go through. We've got these 2 cards. And Tony Pedro Oliva's Hall of Fame placard postcard from Cooperstown. Tony Pedro Oliva Lopez played in Minnesota in the American League from 1962 to 1976. Looks like he played his entire career with Minnesota. Artfully wielded left-handed line drive swing throughout his 15-year career that saw him win 3 batting titles and top the American League in hits 5 times and doubles 4 times. Burst into big leagues with 8 straight All-Star seasons from 1964 to 1971, earning MVP votes all 8 years. As 1964 Rookie of the Year paced American League in runs, hits, doubles, batting average, and total bases, won 2nd straight American League batting crown, the first player to begin a career with back-to-back batting titles, while helping Minnesota win its first American League pennant in 1965, awarded the 1966 Gold Glove in right field. So there we go, his Hall of Fame postcard from Cooperstown, along with 2 of his baseball cards. We'll highlight in a little bit more detail at the end here. Okay, thanks there. Appreciate it, Chuck. I know you will. I gotta get used to Chuck's new handle on YouTube. But Tony Pedro Oliva, born Antonio Oliva Lopez Hernandez Javiquio on July 20th, 1938, is a Cuban former professional baseball player and coach. He played his entire career in Major League Baseball as a right fielder and designated hitter for the Minnesota Twins from 1962 to 1976. An 8-time All-Star player, Oliva was an integral member of the Twins team that won the 1965 American League pennant and 2 consecutive American League Western Division titles in 1969 and 1970. Oliva was named the American League Rookie of the Year in 1964 and won 3 American League batting championships, as well as Gold Glove Award during his career, playing in baseball's second dead ball era. He was one of the game's best hitters during his first 8 seasons. After 8 seasons in the majors, Oliva's career was hampered by a series of severe knee injuries, forcing him to become a designated hitter during his final 4 years in baseball. He retired with a career batting average of .304. Oliva was inducted into the Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame in 1988 and the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame in 2000. The Twins retired Oliva's uniform number 5 in 1991, and he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2022. As far as early life, born in Pinar del Rio province in Cuba in 1938, he played baseball weekly with his father, brothers, and neighbors in a vacant lot near the family farm. Oliva's father, who worked in a tobacco factory, was famous for rolling the best cigars. He was also a former semi-professional player who instructed Tony and helped him become the best hitter in Pinar del Rio. A scout from Minnesota for the Minnesota Twins noticed the youth and brought him to the United States to play professionally. He was reluctant to leave his parents and 9 siblings, but his father encouraged him to become rich and famous in America. Professional baseball career. First, when he was in the minor leagues, Oliva arrived in the United States in the spring of 1961. During spring training that year, he appeared in the Twins' final 3 games, collecting 7 hits in 10 at-bats. The Twins, however, had already filled their minor league rosters and released Oliva, with some saying it was due to his poor outfield play. Having nowhere else to go, Oliva traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina to train with a friend who played for a Minnesota Twins Class A farm team. His quick wrists, long frame, and unmatched power impressed Charlotte General Manager Phil Hauser to place a call and convince the Twins to re-sign the potential star. Due to a paperwork switch at Oliva's arrival in the United States to reflect the name and birth of his younger brother Pedro Jr., born 1941, in order to appear younger to Major League scouts, many newspapers reported the 21-year-old Tony as his 18-year-old sibling. The name struck, and Oliva officially changed his name to Tony Pedro Oliva in the late 1990s. The Twins assigned Oliva to the Class D Wyatteville Twins in the Appalachian League, where he played in 64 games and led the league with a .410 batting average, but had a low fielding percentage of .854. After finishing second to Orlando Cepeda in batting average in the Puerto Rican leagues in winter ball. Oliva was sent to Single-A Charlotte in the South Atlantic League, where he played 127 games and hit .350 with 17 home runs and 93 RBIs. He was called up to the major leagues with 9 games left. Debut for the Twins on September 9, 1962, hitting a searing .444 in 12 plate appearances. In 1963, he was invited to spring training with the Twins, and management hoped that lefty Oliva could counterbalance the right-handed sluggers, Bob Allison and Harmon Killebrew. While there, he became friends with their teammate and fellow Cuban shortstop Zolio Versalles, who quickly became convinced that Oliva was the new Ty Cobb. Citing their similarities in hitting ability, speed, and arm strength, however, Oliva failed to make the Twins' major league team and was assigned to the Dallas-Fort Worth Rangers, the club's Class AAA affiliate in the Pacific Coast League. Disappointed, Oliva started the season slow, compiling a 235 average, in the first 2 months. He recovered, however, and finished the minor league season with a 304 batting average with 23 home runs and 74 RBIs. This earned him a call-up for the final few games of the 1963 Major League season. Once again, he responded with a sizzling at-bat, .429 in just 7 at-bats. Then, as far as the minor leagues, let me get a sip of water real quick here. Crossover Paranormal Society. Thanks for popping in, Jonathan. Appreciate you being here. Oliva was selected as a near-unanimous 1964 American League Rookie of the Year, receiving 19 of 20 first-place votes. Oliva was voted to his first All-Star game in his rookie year, but went 0 for 4 at the plate. His American League leading .323 batting average made him the first player to ever win both the Rookie of the Year award and American League batting title. He also paced the American League in hits with 217 hits, doubles 43, extra base hits 84, total bases 374, runs 109, and runs created 133. Oliva's 374 total bases tied a rookie record. Oliva finished 4th in MVP voting. In 1995, Oliva won a second straight American League batting title with a .321 average. His back-to-back wins, once again a baseball first. His performances were all the more noteworthy for falling right at the onset of baseball's second dead ball era, with only 2 other American League hitters reaching the 300 mark that season. Carl Yastrzemski had a .312 and Vic DeVello had a .301. Oliva added 16 home runs, 98 runs batted in, and 107 runs, and led the American League in hits with 185, runs created 108, sacrifice flies 10 runs, and batting average of .321. Good for a second-place finish in MVP voting to teammates and Twins sparkplug Versalles. In his second All-Star game, Oliva entered as right fielder in the 8th inning, replacing game starter Rocky Colavito, and had a double in the 9th inning after pinch running in the 7th inning and grounding out. Through the end of July 1966, Oliva was leading the league with a .328 average. However, between August the 21st and August the 28th and September 13th and September 21st, he slumped badly, collecting 3 hits in 29 at-bats and 4 hits in 34 at-bats, respectively, which cost him a chance at the 3rd straight batting title. Oliva finished with a .307 batting average and was a runner-up to Triple Crown winner and American League MVP Frank Robinson, who hit .316 for the third year in a row. Oliva led the American League in hits with 191. Additionally, he won his only Gold Glove award and finished 6th in MVP voting. One of the season's highlights came on June 9, 1966, in the 7th inning of a game against the Kansas City Athletics, where Oliva joined Harmon Killebrew, Don Mincer, Rich Rollins, and Versailles to hit 5 home runs in a single inning. These 5 home runs hit off starter Catfish Hunter, 3, and reliever Paul Limblin, 2, stand as of 2021, tying an MLB record for the most home runs in a single inning. After a somewhat off 1967, where he led the American League with 37 doubles and finished in the top 10 in batting average, slugging percentage, hits, total bases, RBIs, runs created, extra base hits, and intentional walks. Oliva's rebound in 1968 was cut short by an injury. Missing the last 34 games, he once again hit .289, but so depressed were batting average, it was good for third in the American League by a single point, and only batting champ Yastrzemski topping 300 by a single point as well. He returned to form in 1969 to again place third in the American League with a .309 batting average, with 24 homers, 104 RBIs, and league leading in hits, 197, and doubles with 39. He finished third in batting average in the American League in 1970 at .325, and with 23 home runs and 107 RBIs, he also led the American League in hits with .204 for the 5th time. In doubles, and finished second in MVP voting for the 2nd time, this time to Baltimore's Boog Powell. In 1971, Oliva won his 3rd American League batting title with a .337 average and led the league in slugging percentage at .546. These feats at the end of the stretch of 8 straight All-Star appearances that began his rookie season marked the high point of his career, as severe knee, leg, and shoulder injuries hampered his remaining playing days. His roommate, Rod Carew, often heard Oliva moaning and groaning and getting up to obtain ice for his sore knees during the night. He played just 10 games in 1972 before having a season-ending surgery. Due to injuries in a 1973 American League rule change establishing a new position, he became the Twins' designated hitter that spring and remained in that role his final 4 seasons. Oliva would hit the first home run by a designated hitter in league play on April 6, 1973. Just 3 months later, on July 3, 1973, Oliva also became the first designated hitter to hit 3 home runs in a game against Kansas City Royals in a 7-6 loss at Royal Stadium. Oliva was a coach for the Twins after he retired as a player. As such, he holds the distinction of being the only on-field team member who appears with 3 Minnesota Twins World Series teams. Star outfielder in 1965 and hitting coach in 1987 and bench coach in 1991. Again, his Major League awards: American League Rookie of the Year 1 time in 1964, American League All-Star 8 times from 1964 through 1971, American League Gold Glove Award winner in 1966, and American League Player of the Week on June 30th, 1974. Oliva was American League MVP runner-up in 1965 and 70 and the National Baseball Hall of Fame inductee in 2022. His other awards and honors and achievements: a World Series champion in 1987 and 91, American League batting champion 64, 65, and 71, American League slugging average in 1971, American League leader in runs scored, total bases, runs created, and extra base hits in 1954, American League leader in hits 1964 through 66, 69, and 70, American League leader in doubles 1964, 67, 69, and 70, American League leader in sacrifice flies 185, American League leader in putouts as a right fielder in 1964 through 67, 69, and 70, an American League leader in assists as right fielder 69 and 70, American League leader in double plays turned as a right fielder 66, 70, 71, Minnesota Twins number 6 retired July 14, 1991, Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame player in 2000, Tony Oliva statue in Target Field April the 8th, 2011. As far as Hall of Fame candidacy, Oliva was considered for election in the National Baseball Hall of Fame via voting of the Baseball Writers Association, the BWAA, from 1982 to 1996. Writer Bill James, utilizing Keltner List, determined that Oliva was a viable Hall of Fame candidate, but ultimately did not endorse him as a Hall of Famer. Several contemporaries have endorsed Oliva's enshrinement in the Hall of Fame, including Tony Perez, who mentioned in his 2000 induction speech that he hoped Oliva would soon be in the Hall of Fame. In 2000, 2001, through 2003, 2005, and 2007, Oliva was considered for the National Baseball Hall of Fame by its Veterans Committee election, but was unsuccessful. He was considered again by the Hall of Fame's Golden Era Committee from 1947 to 1972, which voted in 2011 but was short by 4 of the required 12 votes needed for induction in 2012. In 2014, the Golden Era Committee considered him for second time in their 10-candidate ballot, but both he and former infielder-outfielder Dick Allen were voted one tier 10-candidate ballot. Both he and former infielder Dick Allen were 1 vote short of election. 1 candidate was elected in 2011 and no one in 2014. As far as his Golden Days Committee, the Golden Era Committee was replaced in July 2016 by a 16-member Golden Days Committee to vote from a 10-candidate ballot for the 1950 through 69 era. Oliva was voted into the Hall of Fame at their meeting on December 3, 2021, and was formally enshrined on July 24, 2022. Let's get another sip of water here real quick, and we're almost finished up here. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish up Oliva here. As far as his legacy, throughout his 15-year career, Oliva possessed a rather pleasant disposition and was known as a positive influence in a team's clubhouse. He was popular with the fans and the media of the Twin Cities during his career and was given the nickname Tony O. Oliva had strong offensive numbers during an era heavily dominated by pitching. He batted .304 with 220 home runs, 947 RBIs, 870 runs, 1,917 hits, 329 doubles, 48 triples, 448 base on balls, and 86 stolen bases in 1676 games played. In 13 postseason games. He batted .314 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. He was selected to the All-Star team his first 8 seasons, surpassing Joe DiMaggio's previous record of 6 selections. In addition, he was a powerful armed Gold Glove outfielder who led the American League right fielders in putouts 6 times, double plays 3 times, and assists twice. In 1976, Esquire magazine article, sports writer Harry Stein published an all-time all-star argument starter consisting of 5 ethnic baseball teams. Oliva was the right fielder on Stein's Latin team. In 1981, Lawrence Ritter and Donald Hoenig included him in their book, The 100 Greatest Baseball Players of All Time. They explained what they called the Smokey Joe Wood syndrome, in which a player of truly exceptional talent, but whose career was curtailed by injury, in spite of not having had a career statistics that would quantitatively rank them with the all-time greats, should still be included on their list of the 100 greatest players. In 1991, the Hall of Fame catfish hunter named Oliva the toughest hitter he ever had to face because he could hit any pitch anywhere. He didn't have any weakness. In 2006, Cy Young Award winner Dean Chance said that Oliva and Carl Yastrzemski were the 2 toughest hitters he had to face in his career. In 2021, 3 all-time All-Stars, Luis Tiant, wrote that Oliva was the toughest hitter he had ever faced in his career. Personal life. Oliva started dating Gordette Dubois in the middle 60s. They were married in Hitchcock, South Carolina in 1968 and settled in Bloomington, Minnesota. He currently lives in a house he bought in 1972, and all his 4 children live within 10 miles of their parents. As of 2015, Oliva also had 4 grandchildren. So there you go. Tony Oliva, and now we'll go over his overall Hall of Fame induction statistics. Again, he was a right fielder and a designated hitter during his career. He was born July 20th, 1938, at the age and is currently 85 years old. He batted left through right. His MLB debut was September 9th, 1962 for the Minnesota Twins. His last MLB appearance, September 29th, 1976 for the Minnesota Twins. His MLB statistics, he had a batting average of .304, home runs 220, runs batted in 947. Again, he played only for the Minnesota Twins, 1962-1976. Career highlights and awards: 8 times All-Star, 1964 to 71, 2 times World Series champion, 87 and 91. The American League Rookie of the Year in 1964, the Gold Glove Award winner in 1966, 3 times American League batting champion, 1964, 65, and 71. The Minnesota Twins, number 6, retired, the Minnesota Twins Hall of Famer, and he's a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, inducted in 2002 with 75% of the votes, and his election method was the Golden Days ERA Committee. So there you have it, Tony Oliva's Hall of Fame biography. Yoda Vintage Cards is in the house right here for the end of the show, Yoda. Thanks there, David. Hopefully you're doing well. Alright. So let me go in here. So this was his postcard. I'll put that back in my postcard binder for all my Hall of Famers that I collect. And we've got this Tony Oliva here. I only had 2 different Tony Olivas. Now I know I've got some more, but they're in. I still got to sort some more Hall of Fame cards. It's a project for this summer. So this is a think this is a 1988 card. 1988, yes. 1988 Tony Oliva. This is from the Baseball Legends set from 1988. Then this one is a 1973 Topps, I believe. I think that's a 1973 Tony Oliva with the Twins. This was close near the end of his MLB career. Yeah, he started in 1963 with the Twins. Looks like 1962, I mean. He did a little stint with the Twins, went back to the minor leagues, then came up to the Twins. I think it was the last 7 games of the season. So maybe 63 is his official rookie year. I'll have to look that up. There you go. Those 2 Tony Oliva cards are the 2 that I have in my collection at this time. So that's why I like to highlight some of the cards that I do have sorted for the Hall of Famers. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Big Pappy David Americo Ortiz. Is going to be our Hall of Famer for tomorrow. And I have a few cards you can see there for David Ortiz. Wasn't a big David Ortiz collector until I found out he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, so anybody else have any questions for what's going on in the show, what's going on and whatnot, how I'm doing on my eBay store, anything like that? If not, we'll get ready to climb up. Let's see, tomorrow it looks like we'll have maybe a shorter one depending on how long Ortiz's biography goes. But tomorrow will just be a baseball quote of the day. Then we'll have Friday and the weekend that we will do some more trivia. And again, we'll see how close we get here. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to do the 2-minute warning here now. I'm going to do the 2-minute warning. Do my refresh here. Okay. All you got to do is be here at the end, put a comment, you get a free entry in the end of month drawing. Actually, it won't be. It's going to be new, so check out my About Me tab when you get a chance and read through that. It'll explain the whole process. As soon as we get 1,000 entries, that's how it'll work. Then we will do the drawing. So it won't be any designated specific point, but you'll know we're getting closer because today I'll add the new entries on there, and we'll see how close we're getting to that 1,000. I think it'll probably be next week sometime, would be my guess. Alright, so I got Bernie H in so far at 2:59. At 3:01, we will end the 2-minute warning. So far, all we got is Bernie H here. Nobody else wants to check in for free entries. Doesn't cost you anything to get in. Well, you can give me a super chat and that'll get us to 1,000 quicker probably, but not necessary, but would be well received. Any super chats anytime. God is Great's in the house. There we go. Titus, thanks for popping in. We got Bernie and God is Great here, and it's my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Titus. Happy birthday to you. You want to tell us how old you are by chance? Any chance at getting your age? This July 9th, I'll be 66. I'm sure maybe you got me beat, but I don't know for sure. All right. So we do have 3:01. So the end of 2-minute warning is good. Chuck. Chuck was here. I don't know if he's still here or not. He might have taken off already. He might. You're 60. Oh, okay. Got a few more years to catch up to me. Again, I'll be 66 on July 9th of this year. So I've got everybody logged in here. It looks like we'll probably be, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more entries. It looks like we're going to be at 922. 922. So I'll just post this up here so we know tomorrow we will be at 922 entries. Have a great evening now, everybody. Another great stream as always. Appreciate it. Again, this has been Don Blondell, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and more, with Hall of Fame Biography, episode 231, Tony Oliva, and our trivia. We had that. Again, don't forget, tomorrow will be episode 232, David Ortiz. David Ortiz, a newer Hall of Famer, but we'll learn about his career. Big Ray says he dozed off for a minute. Bernie, you did. You missed the 2-minute warning. What happened there? Alright? So you all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day. And we will see you all around the channels, okay? So until tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll see you then. So, as always, it's